What's going on, guys? WhiteFox1225 here with another video, and today we have another episode of ESO Saturday. When we talk about PvP, I saw an article on mmorpg.com that kind of inspired me to write this or make this video, and it was about changes that they thought had to happen in Cyrodiil to make the PvP a lot better, and I kind of added to their list and had my list of my own, so I figured I'd make a video and share my ideas with you guys. Let's start right off with arenas. So we know that arenas are coming to the game. They are coming probably this year even. And I want to talk about that a little bit because I think this has the chance to make the PvP so much better. Right now there's really a lack of small scale PvP, and I was kind of reminded that when I did the one-on-one battle the other day, I was just questing in some towns doing some PvE content to grind, and when I was doing that I met an enemy player and we had this awesome battle. It lasted about 10 minutes and it was just me and him going back and forth, and it was really just, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I actually did lose in the end, but it was still really fun and I had a great time, and I realized this game is really missing out on some of the small scale PvP. So I think an arena is really important, and I think when they do make the arena, they definitely have to have the option for dueling. They gotta have that one-on-one combat because it's really fun in this game, and it can just be the most intense PvP you can see. Then I also think a 3v3, a 6v6, and even a 12v12 would be really great to see come to the game. And I'm going to talk next about the game modes that I want to see. They showed off some of the stuff at the conference that was more like just deathmatch. Obviously wasn't developed too much. It was just meant for people to play at the conferences like E3 or PAX East or something like that. But when arenas actually come to ESO, I want to see a lot of different game modes. I think a deathmatch could work with ESO, and I think that could be kind of cool and a simple game mode to throw in. On top of that, I want to see a game mode where you have to capture different points, different flags around the map that you have to capture, maybe 3 or 5 depending on how many players you have. Then also a capture the flag kind of scenario would be really cool, where one team has to go into the enemy's area, steal a flag or a scroll or whatever you want to call it, and return it to your side. That would work really well with ESO, and it would bring some strategy to the game. And I think that's all they really need for right now. Those 3 would be really great. Even 2 of those could work. I think over time they could add more, and that would be a great thing to add to some DLCs, but I don't think they need to go crazy with a lot of game modes right now. On top of that, if there was a system where you could have a tournament, that would be really cool. If guilds could enter the tournament and then there could be like a ladder to fight, or you could enter like a 1-week tournament where every night you play a match and then by the end it's all about who's on top and then you get a reward. That would be cool. Or if they could have events, you know, where lots of people enter the event and then one wins. That would be really great to make sort of a competitive nature to the arenas, and also you can make almost like an esport out of it where people are competing with each other and trying to get on top. Not that ESO will ever be an esport or that I would want it to be, but I think that would be a really nice feature because it would add a lot of competitiveness to the arenas, and I think you'd see a lot of people dedicating a lot of time to the arenas too. I think a system where you can only play with players that are close to the number of champion points you have is vital. That way it's balanced, because in the way the PvP and leveling is set up right now, if someone went in with like who just grinded all the champion points possible against someone who just hit veteran rank 16, they would absolutely destroy them. So you need to have some system to balance out who you're facing and make sure the matches are pretty fair. And then one last thing, I just think they should put leaderboards in, and when you can get on those leaderboards you get special rewards, maybe some unique armor. That would be great to see too. But moving on, let's talk about the mmorpg article. I put a link in the description. Anyway, in the article they were saying that there's lots of space in Cyrodiil being used, and there's not a lot of opportunity for small groups to make a big impact. It's really all about zerging and about huge groups just taking on keeps, and I completely agree with that. There has to be some more ability for people in small groups or even solo people to make a bigger impact on Cyrodiil, and also I think that the combat has to go away from the keeps a little bit and have opportunities for players to meet in fields and just the beautiful areas in Cyrodiil that they never fight in. In the article they talked about making towns capturable, and you could actually capture them and defend them. I don't know if I think that's a good idea, because those have PvE quests, and honestly they're the best way to grind in the game right now. But ZeniMax has said they're open to the opportunity, and even that they're starting to work on it. I expect it to come to the game soon. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll have to wait and see when it's actually in the game, but they mentioned that a lot in the article, and it's actually already in development, so you know, good lucky them, because that's one thing they were asking for. But let's talk about some of the things I want to see. I think more quests are, really needed. Right now the only quests are to capture a keep, to kill enemy players, and to do a scouting missions. The scouting mission is a cool idea, but right now it has no effect at all on the overall, PvP. It just gets you alliance points and some XP. So it's kind of pointless, and that's one thing they have to do. They have to make it so that those quests we're doing has at least a little impact on the war effort. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. I think some cooler quests would be nice to see. Maybe one where you attack an enemy caravan full of NPC guards and you have to take those materials. One where you have to assassinate like a high value target for an enemy alliance behind enemy lines. And then one where you have to sneak around and steal some information or intel from an enemy area too. That would be really great to see. And those could be located in towns if you want to see that, where you have to sneak into an enemy town and steal some information or kill a leader of that alliance. That would be really great. Keep in mind that that's all, against NPCs. And then the biggest thing, the most important thing, is that that has an impact to the overall campaign and the overall war effort, because if you're just doing it for alliance points, it really doesn't make a difference. At that point, you're just doing PvE. But let's say if you kill an enemy leader, then all of a sudden there's less guards to fight at a keep. That would be great. Maybe if you steal some intel, you get to see how many enemy players are at a certain keep. That would be cool. Or if you take out an enemy caravan, you get those materials and your guards are now stronger and their guards a little less strong. Just so that everything you do has an impact is really important. So I hope to see that come into the game eventually, and I think it would work out really great for the PvP systems. The last thing I want to talk about is enemy interaction in open areas. Right now, the battles are pretty strictly just at keeps or farms or something like that, and there's so much open, beautiful Citadel land to fight on, and I think it's a shame it's not being used. A couple ideas I had is maybe an Imperial officer gets loose around some empty part of the map and both alliances have to sort of race towards him to capture him, or maybe a special artifact shows up somewhere on the map and alliances have to go meet there and fight over it. I think that would be great. It would have to be a pretty really well made system so that the thing spawns like right between two alliances and they could fight over it. It'd be hard to do, but I think it'd be worth the effort overall, because it would make a little bit more varying battleground. Because right now I've been fighting at the same keeps for like the last couple nights. Not really that fun, but if I was fighting all over Citadel, it'd have more of an epic feeling and I'd get to explore the world a little more, which I love to do. Last thing I just want to say is that we need to go into the Imperial City more. Right now there's no real reason to go into the Imperial City. Other than that, there's some cool quests there, but once you did the quest, there's no reason to do the PvP there or grind even, unless you want that specific gear. I think they need to figure out a way to make you go in the Imperial City. I'm not exactly sure what that would be. Maybe they could put some arenas in there, but I think they need to think of a way to make you go into the Imperial City and do some stuff there too. And I know I said last stuff before, but one thing I want to add real quick is that they need to fix the performance problems really quickly. I know they're working on it, and I know that they know it's a huge problem, but it really needs to be fixed soon, because right now when you're in a battle, it's hard to use abilities sometimes just because the lag is so high. It's just not fun, honestly, and they're going to start losing people from PvP. So I think after the Dark Brotherhood, they have to make it a priority to fix this PvP. Like, even if it means delaying a DLC, they have to get working on this, and they have to invest some time and money into fixing the servers and the issues that they're having. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. If you have any ideas for the PvP, leave a comment down below. We'll have lots more ESO videos coming soon, so if you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more, as always guys, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be pumping out content over the next couple weeks. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next one.